What's up, blockchain? This is Nick from Truth Blitz. Hope you guys are having a good day as always. We're going to take a quick look at the market and then get into what we're going to get into. So right now we're at $482 billion market cap overall, and Bitcoin has been around the 10,000 area, bounced around from the low 10,000s back down right under 10,000. It's just been kind of floating around in this area. So right now 10,123, and Bitcoin dominance 35.4%. So we will continue to watch the market and see what's going on. So I wanted to get into this. I was reached out to by somebody at Trezor. They saw my video about hardware wallets and saw that I was talking about the vulnerability in the Trezor, and they wanted me to make an update, asked me to make an update video, and I said I would gladly do that because, as I told them, it's not my intention, or it was not my intention, to deter people from buying a Trezor. And even in my video, even not knowing about this fix, the Trezor was still my choice because of the fact that you would physically need somebody's Trezor in order to be able to get into it. So anyway, he sent me this article, and I will link this article in the description so you guys can read the whole thing for yourself. But basically it goes on to say that if you upgrade your firmware to at least version 1.5.2, it will fix all known attack vectors. So basically, and I'm just going to read this part here. Important. Firmware 1.5.2 fixes all known attack vectors, even those addressed in the two misleading articles posted under a pseudonym. While this is not a remote execution attack, and to exploit this issue, an attacker needs physical access to a disassembled Trezor, we are strongly recommending all Trezor users update their devices to firmware 1.5.2. What is the main purpose of the security update? The update eliminates a potential vector of attack that allows an attacker with physical access to a device with uncovered electronics to extract the seed from the device RAM. While physical access is required for this attack vector, we treat this as a serious vulnerability and recommend every user to install the update. So I'm not going to really go into what the vulnerability was because I did that in my last video. The purpose of this is to inform you guys that with the newer firmware, it does address that issue. So that can make anybody who maybe was on the fence about Trezor because of this rest easy. It's a very easy thing to update your firmware. I actually just updated mine. You just need to make sure you have your seed word so that you can get back into the device once you update your firmware. So good to know, and thank you to Bach from Trezor for sending me this information. Alright, so next what I want to talk about is basically attacks on Bitcoin and cryptos as a whole, be they passive aggressive or not so passive aggressive, like this one here. The 94-year-old VP of Berkshire Hathaway basically says it's disgusting people buy Bitcoin. So for those of you who don't know, Berkshire Hathaway is Warren Buffett's company, and we're just gonna see what he says here. Berkshire Hathaway Vice Chairman Charlie Munger described Bitcoin as totally asinine, and that's a quote, Wednesday, in what some consider will be his last public forums. Financial Times reports Thursday, February 15th. Speaking at the 2018 annual general meeting of the Daily Journal Corporation, Munger, who is 94, outed himself as one of Bitcoin's most outspoken naysayers. So really, we shouldn't give a shit what this guy says anyway, because he's about to die. So, you know, he's a dinosaur. All right, so people who listen to this guy who basically has made his money from the old system, of course he's going to be opposed to something like Bitcoin. Just as many of the people in the legacy system will be, or are. So I'm not going to read the whole article. I'll just go down and read a couple key parts. Asked about what he described as the Bitcoin craze, Munger's response was that it should receive a government crackdown. I expect the world to do silly things from time to time because everybody wants easy money, he told shareholders at a meeting. It's just disgusting that people are taken in by something like this. Our government's lax approach to it is wrong. The right answer with stuff that bad is to step on it hard. Okay, so this guy's an elitist, all right? He doesn't want people like me and you making money. He doesn't want people like me and you having any kind of control of our own lives and our own financial well-being. So that is where he's coming from on this. Additionally, describing the cryptocurrency as totally asinine, Munger went further than even Berkshire CEO Warren Buffett, who in January admitted he didn't know anything about the technology. I can say with almost certainty that they will come to a bad ending, he nonetheless offered in comments to CNBC. So, again, we all know how Warren Buffett made his money. All right, this guy is Warren Buffett's VP. So, we obviously know how he made his money. People should not be listening to people like this. And I'm going to go into somebody else in a second as well, who is a little more passive aggressive in their approach to talking shit about Bitcoin. So let's go into this. Ellen DeGeneres. So she did a little segment on one of her shows recently where she talked about Bitcoin. So we will, let's watch this.
One thing that I am down with right now that I think everybody is learning about is Bitcoin. Who's heard of Bitcoin? Who can explain what Bitcoin is? Liar. Nobody knows how it works. Nobody. Everybody's talking about Bitcoin. Nobody understands it. It's like a plot twist in a confusing movie. When you're watching a movie and your friends are acting like they know what's going on, and you're like, yeah, I do too. And then you're like, what the hell is everybody talking? I have no idea. And all I know is Bitcoin is either worth $20,000 or nothing. That's what I know. It's like a digital antiques roadshow. You're just standing in line and you have no idea till you get there. But they didn't call me economics Ellen in high school for nothing. They called me that because I failed economics. So I did a little research, and I am going to the best of my ability, explain how Bitcoin works. Okay, first, the article I read said Bitcoin is decentralized digital currency. Now, to be honest, I don't know what that means. But here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to explain it, and I think we're all going to get this. Like, pretend like Bitcoin is a goat, okay? Now, it's adorable, right? So everyone agrees it's adorable, and you want to pick it up and you want to pet it, right? But you can't, because it's not there. It doesn't exist except for on that internet right there. Just like Bitcoin is digital currency. You're probably thinking, Ellen, if I can't physically touch it, where do I keep my Bitcoin? In a digital purse? Which is a funny idea, but it's kind of true. You keep it in a digital wallet. Okay, and the digital wallet can either be apps on your phone or tiny hard drives like this, and which is a really good idea because who wouldn't feel safe with their life savings on a piece of plastic that could go into the washing machine? And it sounds like a Jimmy Kimmel prank, but it's not. A digital wallet holds all of your Bitcoin, unlike your real wallet, which holds receipts and punch cards for free Jamba Juice. I also found out Bitcoin operates sort of like the stock market. So say you own one Bitcoin, and when you bought it, it was worth $10,000, okay? And then for some reason, Bitcoin becomes worth $20,000. You just doubled your money. Personally, I'd rather own a baby goat. That's but that's just me. Basically.
All right, so that's enough of her. So, okay, her approach on this was not like that of Berkshire Hathaway's VP. It was very passive-aggressive. What she fails to tell people, and the sad thing is that we are in a society where you have a huge, huge portion of the population who actually listen to people like this, who are not awake yet. And although people are waking up in droves, and there are a lot more people awake today than 10 years ago, you still have a lot of people who, this is where, these are the people they listen to. Okay, so, you know, so she basically passive-aggressively bashed Bitcoin. And some people may not see it like that, but this is exactly what it was. It was a passive-aggressive attack on Bitcoin. You know, yeah, okay, so if you lose your digital wallet, there's a way to still access your funds. Okay, so I don't like the way she approached this, and it's just sad that people are going to actually listen to her and maybe not get into Bitcoin. And, you know, she fails to mention the technology behind this and the significance of blockchain technology. You know, blockchain technology has the potential, and it is going in this direction, to free us financially. Okay, we can take back our own financial lives and well-being. So I've talked about this, I've cited this numerous times, and I will continue to cite it anytime I see fit. And I'm talking about Max Kaiser's comments at Davos when he talked about, you know, there's no stopping this financial revolution now. You know, maybe 5 years ago it could have been stomped out, but we are too far in. This is a decentralized technology, and even if governments put in place ways to stop this, so they think, it's not going to stop it. It will only slow it until we find a way around. And we will, because that is the beauty of decentralized technology. To stop this, you would have to shut off the internet globally. That's the only way. You would have to shut off the internet globally. So, you know, it's just sad that people like this are basically passive-aggressively trash-talking Bitcoin. And people are going to see for themselves and regret listening to people like this. So, you know, it is what it is. I mean, it's something that I've kind of grown accustomed to, and you probably have too, because it keeps happening, and it's going to keep happening. People have a bad taste in their mouth, some people, because they got in because of the FOMO. You know, maybe the end of the year, December, November, whatever, got in and are still down right now, or sold at a loss. And those people who sold at a loss are going to kick themselves in the ass, because the price is on its way back up. And even if we pull back again before we ultimately ascend up past our previous high, it's going to happen. So, you know, I just think that Ellen DeGeneres should stick to doing funny dances and talking about other scripted things, you know, rather than trying to tackle Bitcoin. And if you're going to try to tackle Bitcoin, bring on a guest who knows about Bitcoin instead of trying to explain it yourself, passive-aggressively talking shit about it. So, not the right person to be telling America about Bitcoin, that is for sure. So anyway, that is pretty much it, man. I really did not have too much to talk about today, but I needed to make a video to talk about the Trezor fix, and I just figured I would throw in this and this knucklehead over here. So anyway, guys, that is it. I promise you my next video will have better content. This was kind of just filler stuff other than the Trezor information. So make sure you guys are subscribing to the Block Party Podcast official YouTube channel. Click this button down here and click the bell so you get notifications, and we'll see you guys next time.